What up, homies? Welcome back, Conspiracy University. Well, as y'all all know, there's a lot of us out there on YouTube, right, who don't seem to get pushed in the algorithm, right? Who don't seem to start trending and going viral and whatnot, and you know what I mean? And I can't speak for everyone when I say that a lot of people do be dropping some videos that you would think would go viral, right? And you know, you never really I would hear about it in the past, and I would hear people say stuff like, yeah, you know, I'm being shadow banned and they're not pushing my shit and this and that, and I'm like, yeah. But when it happens to you, then only then is when that fire ignites. All right. You know, I have a couple examples here down my video list, y'all. Like, so basically, there's two videos in particular, all right, and they both have a name in it that was one of these variants of one of these flus that was out there, right? The title of these videos that I have, right? Two of them for sure that I know for sure because I've sat there and watched the views go down. So I'm like, wait, well, how do I have a certain amount of views and then a week later it's missing views like dramatically? But you know, hey, I could be crazy, right? Like I say, I could be crazy. Like, why would old YouTube want to mess with a little old me, right? I mean, what they want to take views away from my videos for? I mean, what's I'm doing? What I'm doing, boss? So anyway, when that happens, right? Like I said, that fire gets ignited. And what are we going to do? We're going to double down. We're going to bust that ass. So let's get into it, y'all. As y'all can see here on my screen, I have something pulled up from Wikipedia, all right? From Wikipedia. And it reads here, microwave auditory effect. So, let me read this for you, all right? The microwave auditory effect, also known as the microwave hearing effect or the Frey effect, consists of the human perception of audible clicks or even speech induced by pulsed or modulated radio frequencies. The communications are generated directly inside the human head without the need of any receiving electronic device. I repeat, the communications are generated directly inside the human head without the need of any receiving electronic device. The effect was first reported by persons working in the vicinity of radar transponders during World War II. In 1961, the American neuroscientist Alan H. Frey studied this phenomenon and was the first to publish information on the nature of the microwave auditory effect. The cause is thought to be thermoelastic expansion of portions of the auditory apparatus, although competing theories explain the results of holographic interferometry tests differently. Alan H. Frey was the first American to publish on the microwave auditory effect, MAE. Frey's Human Auditory System Response to Modulated Electromagnetic Energy appeared in the Journal of Applied Physiology in 1961. In his experiments, the subjects were discovered to be able to hear appropriately pulsed microwave radiation from a distance of a few inches to hundreds of feet from the transmitter. In Frey's test, a repetition rate of 50 Hz was used with pulse width between 10 to 70 microseconds. The perceived loudness was found to be linked to the peak power density instead of average power density. At 1.245 gigahertz, the peak power density for perception was below 80 MW/cm squared. According to Frey, the induced sounds were described as a buzz, clicking, hiss, or knocking, depending on several transmitter parameters, i.e. pulse width and pulse repetition rate. By changing transmitter parameters, Frey was able to induce the perception of severe buffeting of the head without such apparent vestibular symptoms as dizziness or nausea. Other transmitter parameters induced a pins and needles sensation. Frey experimented with nerve-deaf subjects and speculated that the human detecting mechanism was in the cochlea. Got a little tongue-tied there, y'all. Forgive me. Cochlea. But at the time, cochlea. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Frey experimented with nerve-deaf subjects and speculated that the human detecting mechanism was in the cochlea. But at the time of the experiment, the results were inconclusive due to factors such as tinnitus. Auditory sensations of clicking or buzzing have been reported by some workers at modern-day microwave transmitting sites that emit pulsed microwave radiation. auditory responses to transmitted frequencies from approximately 200 megahertz to at least 3 gigahertz have been reported. The cause is thought to be thermoelastic expansion of portions of auditory apparatus, and the generally accepted mechanism is rapid, but minuscule in the range of 10 minus 5 degrees Celsius, heating of the brain by each pulse, and the resulting pressure wave traveling through the skull to the cochlea. In 1975, an article by neuropsychologist John Justison, discussing radiation effects on human perception, referred to an experiment by Joseph C. Sharp and Mark Grove at the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, during which Sharp and Grove reportedly were able to recognize 9 out of 10 words transmitted by voice-modulated microwaves. Y'all listen to that, right? Sharp and Grove are reportedly able to recognize 9 out of 10 words transmitted by voice-modulated microwaves. Since the radiation levels approach the then current 10 MW/cm squared limit of safe exposure, critics have observed that under such conditions, brain damage from thermal effects of high-power microwave radiation would occur, and there was no conclusive evidence for MAE at lower energy densities. In 2003-2004, Waveband Corp had a contract from the U.S. Navy for the design of an MAE system they called MED-USA, Mob Access Deterrent, using silent audio, that was intended to temporarily incapacitate personnel through remote application. Reportedly, Sierra Nevada Corp took over the contract from Waveband. Experts such as Kenneth Foster, a University of Pennsylvania bioengineering professor who published research on the microwave auditory effect in 1974, have discounted the effectiveness of the proposed device. Foster said that because of human biophysics, the device would kill you well before you were bothered by the noise. According to former professor at the University of Washington, Bill Guy, there's a misunderstanding by the public and even some scientists about this auditory effect, and there couldn't possibly be a hazard from the sound because the heat would get you first. That's cap. Microwave effects have been proposed as the cause of otherwise unexplained illnesses of U.S. diplomats in Cuba and China occurring in 2017 and 18. However, this explanation has been debated. Bioengineer Kenneth R. Foster noted of the health effects observed in the diplomats, "It's crazy, but it's sure as heck not microwaves." As of October 2021, a microwave cause remains one of the major hypotheses. So let's make sure that they're going to put conspiracy theories here, right? Listen, make sure let's go and read this. We're going to read this one. Numerous individuals suffering from auditory hallucinations, delusional disorders, or other mental illnesses have claimed that government agents use forms of mind control technologies based on microwave signals to transmit sounds and thoughts into their heads as a form of electronic harassment, referring to the alleged technology as voice-to-skull or V2K. There are extensive online support networks and numerous websites maintained by people fearing mind control. California psychiatrist Alan Drucker has identified evidence of delusional disorders on many of these websites, and other psychologists are divided over whether such sites reinforce mental troubles or act as a form of group social support. Psychologists have identified many examples of people reporting mind control experiences, MCEs, on self-published web pages that are highly likely to be influenced by delusional beliefs. Common themes include bad guys using psychotronics and microwaves, frequent mention of the CIA's MKUltra project, and frequent citing a phrase 1962 paper entitled Human Auditory System Response to Modulated Electromagnetic Energy. Okay, so that was it though. That was it. They didn't dispute it. They didn't have any rebuttals. They didn't debate whether or not they were... No, see, what they do is they try to make everyone look crazy, right? They try to make people look like they just crazy, schizophrenic, bipolar, all these things. That's all they do. But not once did they refute it. All right? That's not important right now, all right? Let's continue. So there's a couple things here that I definitely... Okay, I've went over a video before, y'all, of the voice-to-skull technology, right? So that's true. That's real. They admit to that being real. But why is it that there's no conclusive evidence for this one right here, right? But it's all good because we're going to get into it. It's going to be just basically like a little part one, all right? Because I'm finna start busting their ass. We're going to get it all out there. Since they're going to put my videos in the shadows, how they say, shadow ban. So they're not going to push my videos, right? well then, hey, what does it matter if I keep busting their ass? I'm just a little old person right here on just, just making little YouTube videos here and there. I ain't talking about nothing important, right? Nothing special. Or am I? But once again, y'all, I appreciate every single one of y'all who come over here and rock with me. Y'all keep your eyes open out there, homies. Stay safe.